What is Bitcoin and how is it creating an impact? In this video I will discuss tenets on why Bitcoin and the blockchain technology is becoming one of the most impactful technologies today. But before that, please hit like and subscribe button below so you will get notified on my next tutorial videos.
Why are billionaire investors like Bill Gates and Richard Branson investing in Bitcoin? And how can you get in on it? Since 2008, Bitcoin has grown faster than any other currency on the planet, and people have made millions. But the biggest growth is going to happen over the next several years, making Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies one of the most exciting investment vehicles in the last few decades. And anyone can participate. As more and more people learn what Bitcoin is, what its benefits are, and most importantly, how easy it is to use, its value continues to grow. And when you combine the thousands of new people getting involved with Bitcoin every day, along with more and more companies accepting Bitcoin to purchase their products and services, along with the fact that there are a limited number of Bitcoin available, the basic rule of supply and demand is a big reason that it's going to climb even more. And many say it can realistically reach as high as $1 million or more per Bitcoin in the next 10 years. Jeremy Liu, the first investor in the multi-billion-dollar social app Snapchat, says Bitcoin could realistically be worth $500,000 by 2030. And Wences Casares, CEO of Bitcoin storage vault Zappos, says, in 10 years, Bitcoin will be worth between $500,000 and $1 million. It's not difficult to see why so many of the world's wealthiest entrepreneurs and investors are making Bitcoin a big part of their investment portfolios. But what many people don't realize is that anybody can participate, and you don't need millions or even thousands of dollars to do it. In fact, if you had just $100 worth of Bitcoin today and Bitcoin went to $1 million, your $100 would be worth over $83,000. But none of that means anything if you don't know how to get started. The world is changing, and technology is quickly taking over. The need for multiple streams of income has never been greater. Bitcoin has already surpassed gold in total value. Over the next 10 years, we could see more millionaires created than any other industry in history.
When you pay a shop using a bank card, the shop checks with the bank to see if you have money to make the purchase. The bank checks its records, verifies that you have enough money, and deducts that amount from your card. It then updates its records and takes a fee for providing their services. If you wanted to remove the banks from the system, who would you trust to keep the records straight? No altering or cheating. No one would ever trust a single person with that much power, but you may give your trust to a collective group of people, many millions in fact. The main idea is to not have a centralized record of transactions. Many copies of those transactions are distributed across the world. Every owner of each copy records every transaction. In this new model, the shop, instead of checking with the banks, checks with everyone's records to see if you have the money. When the purchase is made, all the record keepers update their records. If an individual transaction record is fraudulent, it doesn't agree with the rest of the copies of the transaction records and gets rejected. This large group of people checking record transactions aren't people at all, but a network of computers. There is no need for third parties such as banks, because the decentralized network keeps itself in check. Amazingly, that means no bans, no server shutdowns, or blocking of payments, because payments occur directly between people. Although transactions can be tracked, they cannot be stopped. So-called miners keep the network running by solving complex equations on their computers. These people mine Bitcoin in chunks called blocks that contain all of the recent transactions. Blocks are kind of like a page in a record-keeping book. The miners receive payment in Bitcoin for their effort, much like mining gold. Also like gold, there's a finite supply of Bitcoin to stop it from being devalued, much like we're currently seeing in fiat currency. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins, and the final Bitcoin will be mined in 2140. So what gives Bitcoin its value? In reality, it's just worth what someone's willing to pay for it. So could the price drop to zero? If confidence is lost, yes, it's possible. But regardless, it is a pretty interesting idea. There's an argument to be made that the value of Bitcoin is actually the trust and utility of the Bitcoin network itself. What the price is for that value, no one is sure yet.
So yeah, I think a really useful idea. A blockchain is just a type of database. It's a distributed ledger that in some use cases, like for a banking back office, is kind of like a database upgrade. So massive improvements in efficiency, but probably not that transformative or disruptive. When you take a blockchain and you make it public and decentralized, and then you add money to that, you add a cryptocurrency, then you're looking at something that is that first use case, that offshore banking system, that I think is fundamentally disruptive, and disruptive financially, economically, and even potentially politically.
Good evening. Tonight, Elon Musk makes one of his riskiest bets ever, linking Tesla's fortunes to Bitcoins. The world's richest man now investing $1.5 billion worth of his company's money in the cryptocurrency. Its price hit a record high on the news. One Bitcoin is now worth close to $43,000 US. It reached $44,000 earlier in the day. Musk's bet on Bitcoin doesn't stop there, though. Tesla says it will soon let customers buy its cars using Bitcoin. Paul and Monica is joining us live now. So Paul, just walk us through, how important is this move for Tesla? Is joining the ranks of other companies like MicroStrategy, for example? Could we see other companies, in addition to Tesla, following suit here?
I think it's clearly possible, Zain. I mean, you have obviously Elon Musk now being, the CEO of an S&P 500 company. He's the world's wealthiest individual. Clearly, what he does and says has some clout. So there could be other companies looking to do this as well. But this obviously isn't for everyone. There are clearly going to be some CFOs and treasurers out there who would really bristle at the notion of putting cash that's usually in paper currencies, government-backed currencies, or government bonds into something as volatile as Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency for that matter. So it's going to take a company that has a bit of a maverick like Elon Musk or Michael Saylor at MicroStrategy to really try and put corporate cash into something like Bitcoin.